What's up, guys, and welcome back to No Collar Entertainment, and we are continuing our Potluck season with another divisional game against the Buccaneers. Hopefully it goes as good as the last one. We'll just have to see how it goes. Again, thank you guys for the presidential debate video. We are over 100 views again. That is the second presidential video in a row that has gone over 200 views or 100 views. So that's awesome. Hopefully it'll be the second one to break 200 views. Don't forget to like and subscribe though. If you guys want to see more, make sure you subscribe, and I keep putting these out for you. What's up, Kurt Dog? Welcome. So yeah, Devontae Freeman is officially getting benched for the season. Draper is definitely my number 2 guy. Look at him like a monster out there. Drew Brees is Drew Brees. I hate getting the ball first. Oh, Kurt Dog, that's Savage from the last stream. He traded for Des Bryant immediately after the game, and now Des Bryant is out for 8 weeks, so it's not going to help him when he faces me again. That's alright. I'll go ahead and punt it.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So the D-line's going to spread out. The first carry down for Doug Martin. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And Jenkins is a guy in this offense that I know you like to talk about.
absolutely love to talk about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His ability to play in any position, whether it's as a wide receiver or as an inline tight end, his versatility, some of the best in the league.
You even gave him the full name there.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He is the real deal.
Again, it's Martin. And that play went
Where's Martin going?
losing yardage. He'll be back at the 36. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast, and I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
9 yards to go. It's 3rd down.
That's mine. Jalen Collins, baby.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy. Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
You have to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
So, moving the ball, right?
You don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it, because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Oh yeah, there goes Tevin. There we go.
Falcons. Kevin Golden, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was
It's funny, ever since I discovered a run game, I've been winning.
in this game. Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur,
I mean, this game ain't over,
well downfield.
And then you have to have
but it's an interesting thing.
Oh, without a doubt, you need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but just
Nowhere
There we go.
escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Winston now. It's caught by Mike Evans. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it up usually after about 3 to 4 steps and cuts towards the middle.
This is a play I like.
Now what he's trying to do is
There it
use
is.
his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jameis to throw it. They set up the screen to Martin. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there.
It's the kind of defense I like to see.
Saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Fielded at the 20. Give him 11 7 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled down.
And this will be caught at the 30.
Don't single cover Julio.
For Atlanta, 41 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that one. Both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
He got it there. And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll come out in the pistol. Coleman now. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Breeze now on first down. And the tip
Oh,
there altered the ball.
gotta catch that.
It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first NFL reception goes.
He almost got me with that too. That was a good user move. I thought he was going to bite on the low drag. He floated up. If he would have kept position, he probably would have been picking that off easy. So I'll take it, but I can't make mistakes like that.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again.
So
And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots, but what's the old adage? You get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's Winston toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter, and they've got it here with a first down. They come out here in the eye. First down. Here's the run with Martin. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Winston. Evans has it left side.
I don't know what the hell that animation was.
And they move the chains. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
They go play action here on first down. Looking deep here for Macklin.
No.
Ball's incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. 2nd down following the incompletion. Back to the ground, Martin. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle.
Ah, and he got it too, but I was on his ass.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back, you go with the big man, hand him the ball, and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
If you really want to
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On 1st and 10, Winston. He rifles one.
Woo! Nice pick, Jalen. There we go.
At the 30-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. They'll let their fullback try and push the
Turnabout's fair play, right?
will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a 1st down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very well.
No!
Touchdown incomplete.
Oh, man. That was a really long time to be in the air there.
Original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10.
Shit.
And he's just going
God was open, too.
To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Now Breeze on 3rd down.
I got to throw it.
And take him down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the ball.
Check something real quick. Okay, yeah, he's in there. I don't know why he's... thought Jalen was in the nickel, and I thought that rookie cornerback was injured, but I guess that he's just been throwing to Jalen.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to get this one out to his fullback.
Face mask.
Able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Following the penalty, Martin. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. And a catch right side by Evans. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A first down throw for Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs.
Oh, well, that didn't work.
Mike Evans, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. And that one makes it 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now Breeze on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Breeze now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Go, Julio! Go on with your bad self.
Julio Jones.
Do not single cover Julio.
And the Falcons will extend their lead.
I will streak it every time.
The rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. So out come the Bucs now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offensive coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Drops it off to Martin. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and have a chance to make people miss.
Thank God you overthrew him, dude.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On second down, Martin. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. On third and 1, here's Winston. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the red zone now, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
One receiver to the left is Evans. Jameis to throw it. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, Winston.
Ooh!
Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes.
Ooh.
In the game, and boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Sorry, good first half. Good first half.
Into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first. What's that? Yeah. Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the 3rd quarter. Let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a play fake to Martin. Here's Winston.
Yep, that was mine. That's my bad.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Fucking bit.
Granted, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Jameis now on 1st down. They set up the screen to Martin. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup. And that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, You gotta like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. 3rd down now following the run. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
I know I'm not in the rooting business, but I really like this kid, Austin Safarian Jenkins. Good catch there. I'm just hoping he can stay on the field and have some good help.
Yeah, the Bucs hoping so, too. Limited to 16 games total his first 2 seasons combined.
He is quite a target for a young quarterback. Jameis Winston can grow with this guy, and boy, they can be a dynamic duo.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right.
Boom!
From that outside linebacker spot, he's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Back at the 16 now after the sack. Here's 3rd and goal. 3rd and long for Winston. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
There you go, baby.
In there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They come out here in the eye. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Well, he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left into a double.
Oh, that looked more open than it was.
And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said,
there you go. Keep that pressure coming. Keep that heat coming.
And the defense on the other side,
Maybe a little gas.
yeah, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Goes underneath to Martin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Second down following the run. One receiver to the left is Evans. Second down, Winston. And that will be caught.
Oh, wow. Out of bounds, okay. I was about to say that. Man.
Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
On 3rd down, Winston.
Mine.
Intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm here, my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Fresh set of downs here. On 1st down, Breeze.
Throw it, dude.
He'll go down. They got him for a sack. Levante David coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. They come out here in the eye. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And this one's incomplete. Patrick DeMarco, the fullback, the one he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're running a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
They come up in an offset eye. They start the drive with Martin. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They run it again with Martin. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
One receiver to the left is Evans. Here's Winston. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Winston now from the 50. His throw incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down.
No.
3rd down pass falls incomplete. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target. And it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds.
Oh, nice punt.
Coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They got the lead last time, had to punt it though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 2nd and 5. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they can keep the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that load in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. There's Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And it's a short one.
Get there.
To the tight end. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Coleman.
There you go. Keep pushing.
Here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in the running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Breeze to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Get in there. Come on. Woo! 57 yards, baby. Who hates the new field goal kicking system, man?
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
And he'll line up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go
Tick, 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 tick.
get on the field on this drive. Punter, yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if somebody got the rugby casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
Tick, 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 tick.
Make the mistake of the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here. They're just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tomahawley in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake to Martin. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Ho, 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 ho.
One of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost.
One more time.
Allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. To throw is Winston. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's Desmond Trufant. And that will write a finish to this ballgame.
Good game to the Bucs. Made me nervous at the end there. He was putting pretty good defense on me, but came out victorious. That's 2-0 versus the division. I believe I have the Saints next. Another division game. Trying to go 3-0 before my bye week on the division. Make sure that this division is mine this year. For No Collar Entertainment, this is Matt. I'm out.